Hey, it's Mike from Intermittent Fasting for the Win. Welcome to the Winner's Circle. This is where I have live Facebook chats with people who doing intermittent fasting or just getting started or have been on it for years. And we discuss everything about it and just have a wonderful time. I hope you'll join me today for this one. It's going to be special. And I'll talk to you again at the end. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm just telling them a little bit about you, and let me get started with that.
Okay.
Uh, so, she's got a remarkable testimony, remarkable. And let me tell you a little bit about how she helped me. I was at a low point in my life. I was 71 years old. I was fat, old, and I desperately needed knee surgery. But I had to get my BMI down before they would do that. And I've known Kortney and her husband Michael for several years here on Facebook. Uh, they've sent me beard balm and all kinds of stuff. And Kortney's got a wonderful store, and I'll let her tell you about that too, unless we forget to do it. But at any rate, I'd known him for years, and I noticed that there were changes in her. And so I sent her a message one day and I said, "Look, you look like you lost a lot of weight. What is your secret?" And that was the point in time where I got introduced to intermittent fasting, and Kortney did it. And she's been with me every step of the way ever since. She's been a great encourager. And I decided, well, I owe her this first interview. I really do. And and so, Kortney, you've lost over 140 pounds.
Yes, I have, thankfully.
Wow.
You're going to make me
And,
cry.
and you're still going.
I am, yes, sir. I've got about 80, I think last I counted about 87 more pounds to go.
Well, I've got somewhere between 60 and 80 more to go
We can do it
myself. So
together.
we'll do it together.
Yeah.
Listen. For those of you who don't know, since February of this year, I have lost 70 pounds, and of course, still going now. The weight has slowed down a little bit now. You know how it does.
Yeah.
Uh, the more you lose, it seems like the slower you get sometimes, but
Yeah.
that's okay
It is, yeah. A lot of
because
people,
Kortney, it's more than just the weight loss; it's the health
yes,
benefits.
yes.
Yes,
And for me, it's the spiritual benefits of it as well.
yes,
Uh, a lot of people get discouraged when like our body is magnificent things. And sometimes we'll just drop the weight quickly, and everything's going good. We're all excited. But then, we have periods where we just slow down and it doesn't seem like we're losing anything. And people get so discouraged by that. But I try to tell everybody, just hold on, keep
just hold
steady.
on.
It'll it'll start again. Your body's just doing something that you can't see. It knows best, and it
We'll
knows
see.
what it's
Let,
doing.
let me add to that. I just recently had. I'm 8 weeks today. I'm 8 weeks out from having knee replacement surgery.
Uh-huh.
When when I went in for that, I decided, my body needs nutrients, so I came off of the ADF, the alternate day fasting, and I just went to simply 2 meals a day. And of course, I picked up just a few pounds here and there. But then after a certain point in time when I said, let's go back to my 4-3 or whatever I was doing
Right.
before, when I went back to my regimen, it was like, pow,
Yeah.
10 pounds, 10 pounds, just, ow.
Yeah.
So, it just depends on what you're doing. And like Kortney just said, don't give up.
No.
Keep
No.
the course.
If I would have given up, and I have several times before, I would just get so discouraged. I wouldn't be where I'm at now.
That's right.
Because you can't give up, even when it looks like that it's not working. It's always working. That's one of the beauties of intermittent fasting is it's always
Yes,
working.
it
You just
is.
have to stay the course and do it. It's really, it sounds too easy to be true, but it's really that easy.
Well, tell us just briefly what got you started with intermittent fasting and where you were in your head when you started with intermittent fasting.
Well, I'll start from the very beginning. Like when I was a child, I've always been obese, very overweight. Food was my comfort, it was my friend. I was the only child for a long time. You
Mm.
know, just I didn't have a bad childhood, but I just had things in my childhood that food would comfort me.
Yeah.
You know, it's when we were happy we would eat, when we were sad we would eat, you know, just everything. And it become a
Emotional eating.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just become a crutch to me. And so I grew up doing that, and then it just got to the point where I was feeling in myself that there was a point of no return. And I would pray and pray and pray and, you know, ask God, please, you know, just help me. How can I help myself? What do I need to do? And he would always tell me the verse, and I'm going to butcher it, some come out only by prayer and fasting.
Yes.
And I did not know how or what, when, how that was even possible for me to do that, because food had such a clutch on me that I didn't know where to start. So, gosh, probably about 10 years ago, I started fasting. I don't know why. I just did. I was just like, Lord, I'm going to try it, whatever. So I started trying it. I would quit, get discouraged, start back. It would fail. It never worked. I would probably lose maybe 10, 15, 20 pounds at the most. I would try keto, just all these different things, and nothing ever worked. And I would still be just pleading with the Lord and begging with Him, you know, show me how to do it. And He would always tell me the same thing. Some comes out by prayer and fasting. And it boiled down to I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to give up food. So as I grew in the Lord, my prayer, my fasting grew in Him, and I got stronger. And He's blessed the work of my hands in it. He's blessed my obedience, and that's where I'm at. That's what I do, and that's what I tell everybody. It is a matter of obedience for me. You know that I had to either choose Him and being obedient to Him, or my love for food, because my love for food, it was good while it lasted, and then food turned on me,
And
you
it was
know.
powerful.
Yeah, it was. Like I didn't know how I was going to get out of it. So he helped me because I was obedient. So that's where it started, and I didn't lose a lot. I mean, I would lose steadily, but when I really started losing a lot was when I found out I had the allergy, you know. And then I didn't have any choice. Like I had to really obey then. You know, it was I would obey a little while and then I would go back, you know, and then
You
I
had
would
you had to clean up your act.
oh I did, yes. Very much so.
Well, listen,
So
listen, listen. What protocol got you to that point? Which one of the protocols was it? Time release, time restricted eating, or was it uh, ADF or whatever? What got you really going?
well, I started off slow because it was just so overwhelming. And that's everybody asks me, and that's what I tell them. Start off slow,
Hmm.
you know, because if you start off like mealless Mondays or whatever, you're going to have a feeling of failure because it's not for the faint of heart.
That's
And
what happened to
so,
me at the
yeah.
very start. Yeah.
And so I tell people, you know, just get in the hang of fasting. Just fast and eat in your window. Don't worry about anything else. Just get in the hang of fasting. And I learned that from Amy Joe. You know, she's
Yeah.
she's a wealth of knowledge.
She's a
So that's what
treasure.
I tell everybody. She is, and that was what worked for me. I started off slow. I would probably fast 16 hours, you know, and then eat the afternoon with my family or whatever. And then I was just like, I can do this. So I tightened up my window, extended my fasting hours, and then I got to where I was doing 20. I would do 20, fast for 20, and then eat for 4. And I
Hmm.
did that for a long while, and I felt good doing it. But I was like, you know, I can do this. So now, what I feel best at is between 20 and 24 hours daily. And then I'm I struggle with the mealless Mondays because I still battle food addiction, and it's in my mind, and I have to get myself right with the Lord. And so I I do mealless Mondays some days, and some days I just can't. I just don't want to do it, and I don't do it. But every day I always fast and eat in the window. Every day, no matter what. Like I don't fudge. I don't let my
Consistency.
Yes, I don't let myself cheat, nothing. Now I do, like if we're at family functions or something like that, I'll ease up my window. Um, but I don't get slack with it at all because I know me, and I'll be right back to letting food
Well,
comfort me and
the
stuff like
the
that.
thing is about those family functions is in different things like that is, yeah, I made my window great big today, but you know what? When I tighten my window back up,
Hmm.
it all just comes back into place.
It does.
And that's one of the most beautiful things about it. I mean, I'm not counting calories or anything
No.
like that. I'm just, if I'm counting anything, it's the hours in the day. Well,
Me too.
let me ask you, what protocol are you doing right now? The same thing with the 20 to 24 hours?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I
And
don't.
is that your long-term goal protocol?
Yes, it is because that's where my body feels best,
Okay.
mentally, physically, and spiritually. I like to keep myself wrangled in, and I like to keep myself
Under control.
under control because exactly, people's like, gosh, you must have a problem. Well, I did. I didn't get as big as I was, just by chance. I just didn't. So I like the way I feel physically and mentally when I am probably about 22. I like going about 22 hours. And if I'm
Mm-hmm.
busy in the evenings, then I can do 24. And it is mind blowing to me that I can go that long without food and that I can go a day, like when I do my mealless Mondays or whatever day it is, without food because
Mm-hmm.
I used to literally get up. I would go to bed thinking about not what I wanted to eat, but what I could eat because it was just feeding gluttony. I was just a glutton. And then when I would eat the breakfast, I'd move on to lunch. What can I have? And then while I was doing lunch, it would be what can we have for supper, and then we would go on to the next morning. And so it is just mind blowing to me that I can not eat, and I love it, and I feel good.
Well, it's the same with me. Everybody knows me. I'm the 4-3 guy. I'll, I'll do 36-hour fast in a heartbeat,
Yeah,
uh, and how I feel after the end of a 36-hour fast. Sometimes I'll run it on out to 40 hours
yeah,
because I'm not hungry.
mm-mm.
I'm I'm feeling empowered.
Yes,
I'm feeling just great. I feel
yeah,
like if I had the knees and the body for it,
yeah,
I could get up and run a marathon,
yeah, yeah,
And then when I do eat something, I'm like, okay, when's my next fast?
yeah. That's me. It's
some
swapped.
sometimes I feel like I'm eating just because it's I have
Yeah,
to. And it's like the old saying, well, marijuana is good and makes you feel good, but you can quit it.
yeah,
Well, food is good
right.
and it makes you feel good, but you can't quit it.
No,
You gotta
you,
you gotta have it at some time, or
yes,
the consequences are you just gonna waste away to nothing. Well,
yeah.
let me ask you. Let me let's talk about NSVs,
Okay.
non-scale victories. I see the first one in your face and your eyes. Your eyes are just poof, they're lit up.
Yeah.
They
Well,
sparkle, and
they're
your face,
puffy
your
today.
face, your face no longer looks like a moon pie.
I
Now,
know.
now,
I'm not even
has anybody ever
offended.
told you that?
No.
Well, that's a first one, I guess. But I can see those non-scale victories just right
Yeah.
here on the
Yeah.
camera. But tell me about some of your other non-scale
Well, my
victories.
most favorite thing, probably one of my most favorite things is that I'm able to help my family.
Oh,
I'm able to interact with my family. I posted a picture. It wasn't too long ago of me on the lawnmower, and I was just like glowing just because I was on the lawnmower because I let food robbed my family of me, if that makes sense. I wasn't able to go places and do things and help or contribute. And so I feel so good contributing, even if it's just mowing the yard to my
That is
family.
that is probably the biggest non-scale victory that I've heard in a long, long time.
Yeah, it is.
That's huge.
It
That's
is.
monstrously
It
huge.
is. I can do things like I can cook 2 or 3 times a day for them and not feel like I'm dying. I can mow the yard. We can go walk around all day. I used to could not do that.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's sad and I feel so bad that I robbed them of me. But I can make up for lost time now. And so
Yes.
another thing that I love is being able to. I was thinking the other day, and I was like, I just go places now. I don't have to map out where we're going and see what kind of chairs they have. I just couldn't fit in chairs, and so if I knew we were going to a doctor's office or somewhere like that, I would sit in, looking on their Facebook page, looking at their website, just to see if I could see their waiting area to see what kind of chairs it was. And I was just like, I haven't done that in such a long time. Like, I just go and fit in the chairs. It's the greatest thing.
Yeah.
So that's probably some of my favorites, but their life is so much different now. And I mean, I've still got a ways to go. And, if somebody saw me on the street, they would probably think, well, gosh, she's still big, which I mean, I am, but compared to what I was, I'm
It's a huge
and
difference.
it is. And I mean, I'm just out here living my best thin life.
Yeah.
It's so much different.
The
It's just
other
different.
the other day, I had to go and pick up a prescription at the at Walmart, and the little old gal, she's one of the clerks or whatever the assistants, and she's just as cute and sweet as she can be. And she looked at me and she said, "There's something different about you." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I've lost about 70 pounds." And she said, "How did you do that?" And I said, "Well, I've done it through intermittent fasting." She said, "I've heard of that." Now, this girl, if she were to do intermittent fasting, it would strictly be for health purposes because she might weigh 100 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she said, 70 pounds. She said, that's like carrying around a 10-year-old child on your back. And
Yeah.
I got to thinking about that, and I said, yeah, a 10-year-old's about 70 pounds,
Yeah.
on average. I said, so that's like I've been toting somebody piggyback all these years. Well,
Yes.
you, you've been toting a whole
Yes.
grown person around,
Yeah.
and now you're not anymore.
No. And it is just, I didn't realize how bad I felt until I didn't feel bad anymore.
Ain't it true?
You just, yeah, you don't real. I mean, it was just everyday life for me. I didn't know anything
Yeah.
different. But now I'm just like, I'm alive. I can do things. It's great.
Yeah. Well, that's like me. I mean, I've had the knee surgery and I'm moving
Yeah.
on, and Vicky and I, we're walking up to the mailbox
Yeah.
and around the circular driveway, and got the little dogs on a leash and everything, and I'm starting to walk again. And that was one of my main goals, was to be able to walk with my
Yeah.
wife because she loves it. She loves to
Yeah.
walk. And I did too, but I got to where I couldn't. But now with 70 pounds off, I can do it again,
Ain't it great? It is the
It's
best
wonderful.
thing. It is. I
It's
mean,
wonderful.
if I never, I'm gonna lose the rest of these 80 pounds. But if I never lost another pound, I am so thankful the
Yes.
where the Lord has brought me because I was just missing out on everything. My family, Him, just I I missed out, and
Yeah.
I didn't know how to get out of it. And I thank God that He put it in me to obey what He said, and that intermittent fasting was what he was talking about. It
And
is
then
draining.
and then he sent you to me.
He, he did,
Yeah.
yes.
And it's just been,
I'm gonna cry again. Ain't that sweet? He's so
well, you
precious
don't
to
do that
us.
because you'll make me cry. Listen, if there was one thing that you could say to somebody who's new to intermittent fasting, or somebody who is maybe just looking into it and wants to know, what's that one thing that you would say to them?
Don't give up. Don't give up. We'll want to give up. You'll want to give up. That's just,
Yes.
you just will. Trust me. I know. I've done it. I've wanted to. Sometimes I still want to, not as much as I used to, but you will want to give up. Don't give up. Stay steady. Stay the course. Eat in your window. Get in that habit and don't give up.
Okay.
You can
That's
do it.
that's good.
You
Now,
can do it.
tell me one thing that you would say to someone when, oh, here's my favorite. Okay, well, how'd you lose that weight? Well, I'm doing intermittent fasting. Oh, you mean that starvation diet? I've gotten that more than
All the
once. Now,
time.
what's the one thing that you would say to somebody who says that, well, intermittent fasting is just not good for you?
I hear that every time, just about I tell somebody, and I've got to where I just am like, okay, Lord, you speak to them because they're not going to listen to me.
Yeah,
But what I would say is, what would I say? Well, first of all, do I look like I'm starving? No.
yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, my like I said, my eyes are puffy because I've eat something allergy wise I wasn't supposed to, but my skin is clear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look like I'm starving, and when people say that, they've already, because I know, because I was that person, they've already made up in their mind that they don't want to give up what they're doing. That's
That's
all
it.
that they're saying. That's what
That's
they're
it.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
They're not ready. And so that's going to be something that they're going to have to make up in their mind, and that the Lord's going to have to bring them to. And nothing I say is going to be able to change their mind. But if I keep on doing it, then people can see me doing it. Then it'll, what do you call that, spark curiosity in them, and then they can follow suit. Because I've lied to myself and give every excuse. Well, you'll be starving, there's no way you can go without food, um that's an eating disorder. No, God designed us to go without and to only eat when we need to eat,
That's
not be
right.
a glutton and just eat because we can. And that's what my issue was. And so I don't even remember what the question was. I
you,
think I
you
got way
answered it.
off.
You answered it perfectly. When I'm told, that's not good for you, I
Mhm.
just say, look at this,
Yeah.
and I'll whip out my phone and I'll show them one of my side by side pics, and say, which one of these two would you rather, you know,
Right.
I mean, really? And then
Well,
if
I
they
think,
they continue on, I just say, well, you know what? It's been nice talking to you.
yeah,
And I turn around and walk away because listen to me. They're not going to discourage me from it.
no,
It's it's
me neither.
it's my lifestyle.
Right,
It's
because
life.
it's worked for me and it has returned health to me. And I know that is something that the Lord has given me through intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they see it. How can they not
How can
see
you
it? How
not see
can
it?
you not see it? Because I look like a totally different person,
Mm-hmm.
and I look healthy. I'm not getting out of breath when I walk to the mailbox or whatever anymore. So that's just themselves telling themselves that, so they don't
Yeah.
have to do what needs to be done.
Well, listen, Kortney,
Yes, sir.
it's been a blessing to have you here. I'm glad that you were able to be my first interview. Like I said before, you earned that by being patient with me and helping me and guiding me along the way. And
Yeah.
I can only hope that we help somebody else. I have no idea where this video is going to end up. It'll be in the archives because I'm going to click where it says, do you want it for 30 days? I'm going to click
Yeah.
where it says, no, I want it forever,
Yeah.
you know? And I thank you. I thank you not for just getting me started. I thank you for being here today and talking with this old guy. And listen, tell your husband I love him too.
He knows, and
And
he loves you.
and tell him that thank you, Michael, for staying with Kortney
Yeah.
because it was a
Yeah.
blessing.
Yeah.
And look what he's got now.
I
It's
know.
just awesome.
I know. Isn't that
Hey,
great?
yes, it is. Listen, I'm gonna finish this thing off,
Okay.
but it was great having you on today. And good luck on the rest of your journey. I know you'll finish it up with flying colors.
Well, the same to you. We're here to help each other, and I have enjoyed talking to you this morning.
All
All
righty.
right.
Bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And I'll see you next time right here on the Winner's Circle.